Hello. Hey, Blackley, how are you? Hi, Mira. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Desiree. Hi, Amber. Hey, Miss Official A. Guys, I try to schedule in advance and it just doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I can never get in that thing. So glad I got notified. Yes, Deanna, me too. I'm happy you did because I want all of you here. Hey, Cheryl, how are you? Hi, Miss Mabes, Black Dolly, my mods, my members, Courtney Fixing Mommy Projects, Ruby Shabazz, Loving My Life, Dawn, Dream Cakes. Hey, girl, Natalie, what's going on? Miss Official A, how are you? Hey, Amber. Hi, Beaker Patrick. What's going on? Did you guys have a good weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Let me just check on Farrah real quick. Hi, Loving Myself. I feel you on that because I'm loving myself too. So we all need to do that, right? Hold on one second. Let me just check on Farrah because she's got Zoom in 5 minutes, the last Zoom of the day. So let me just make sure she's good. Hold on. I said, do you know what 5 minutes is? And she said 60 seconds 5 times. What? Okay. I bet you, I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. Someone in this audience did not know that. Hey, Fran, I've been. Tay Fizzy, what have you been doing? You know that T-shirt. You said you've been being naughty. I'm gonna wait till you hear what you have to say before I figure out what I'm gonna need to what coaching I'm gonna provide for you. Hi, Fran. What's wrong with Quinta? That's my daughter, Cheryl. 60 seconds, 5 times. Deanna, thank you. Guys, I just want to let you know, Deanna said she hit the like button. She was so happy to catch my live. She ran right in. Girl, have a seat. You okay? We're not going nowhere. Kiki, what's good? Oh, you were in Liv's chat. I was in Liv's chat too. Was I not paying? I guess I wasn't paying attention. Hi, Pineapples, Cat in the Hat, Ebony Johnson, Bushes, all you biz in the bushes. Lady B. Ashley, Amber. What did you do, Tay Fizzy? Do I need to open up the phone line? You know I pay for this freeconferencecall.com phone line and we don't even use it. I pay for StreamYard too. We don't use that much either, but that's, I do use that to make videos. I'm so sorry, LaQuinta. So LaQuinta, how did I miss it that quick? My grandmother died. Oh, I'm so sorry, LaQuinta. I am so sorry. That C19 is not a joke, guys. You see, as one of my subscribers who reaches out to me on IG, the Orange Man. I'm just gonna say it like that. The Orange Man. That whole thing it's very scary. I am so sorry. Whew. I'm sorry. My condolences. To your whole family. So I'm sure that everyone is just really broken up. Well, let us know if that there is anything that we can do, and I hope that like the next hour, Even though there's nothing that's probably going to take your mind off of what's going on, let's just try a little bit. And maybe something can, just, it's hard. As someone who's lost both of her parents, guys, I'm of a certain age, and unfortunately, the older that you get, the more you're going to start to see people you love pass away. It's just kind of like the trade-off, right? And as having seen that and experienced that, um, it's tough. It's very tough. Um, Keep my eye on the clock. So yeah, as the condolences are rolling in, just give me 1 second, guys. LaQuinta lost her grandmother today, and from that horrible, horrible thing that we are all going through together, um, C19. C19 is unfortunately like a thief in the night. And so we've got to, be careful. We've got to use our masks, we've got to wash our hands. Um, we've got to just do all the things. Guys, I'm going to just say this. I know a lot of you guys like to get your nails done. I know a lot of you guys like to wear long, long stiletto nails and all this stuff. But, I have short nails. And I guarantee you guys, short nails are never going to do you wrong, because the minute that you get something under your nails, you're going to know that your hands are clean, not clean, versus those long nails that everybody is wearing, even short, long nails. It's, in hospital, kind of protocol is to kind of try to keep short nails, because you're not going to be able to keep those acrylic nails as clean as you are short, clean, manicured nails, right? So, just a little PSA, think about it, because yeah, sometimes your nails aren't going to look glam, and they're not going to always, sometimes they're not going to look clean. I'm a plant lady. I love working with my plants every day. I cook a lot. My hands stay in water here. But those long, gorgeous nails are a hotbed for germs and contamination. So consider that next time you get your next set. Maybe it's time to skip, especially as we're going to get ready to go through flu season. And you know what I mean? You don't want to pick something up on your fingernails or not be able to get your hands adequately clean, as we are still dealing with the effects of this of C19. So and we have one of our family members here in the chat who just lost her grandmother. So we are so sorry to hear that. And we wish you and your family the absolute best, and our sincerest and warmest condolences to you and your family. Thank you, nurse, before I came CRNA, and it wasn't permitted there either. LOL, it's been a long while since I had fancy nails. Yeah. Um, yeah. So sorry to hear that. Guys, give me just a second. Let me just check with my daughter, make sure she is good to go. Guys, it's like you can't even Those of you guys who have kids on these Zoom classes, the teachers are always late. No offense, guys. I know some of you are teachers in here. I'm sorry, Zoom doesn't start on time. If it starts at 9, sometimes it's 9, sometimes it's 9:03, and that's fine. But when you got these little kids waiting and their attention span is like, ding, you got to stay close until they check in. That's just me. I don't know. How are you doing today, host? I am doing fine. Thank you, Zyros. I appreciate you guys asking. Did any of you guys get a chance to go see my vlog today that I posted on Francoise Vlogs? Guys, excuse me while I take my my pineapples. Girl, thank you. But it's just, I'm wearing some of that Rihanna Fenty. I did Fenty today, even though MAC does me so good. I love MAC. This is the Fenty Pro Filter. Hi, mommy vibes. We had a nice evening last night. We sat outside by the fire and drank coffee. I should have had like a little beverage, but I didn't. Maybe I'll go to the liquor store today and get some there's this stuff I like called B&B. It's like a brandy and Benedictine. It's kind of like an after dinner drink. It's so good. It will knock you off your feet. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had it. It's amazing. I'm gonna pull it up and show it to you guys. Did the Zoom start? Okay. Ooh, okay, hold on a second. Guys, I love this cup. And then I got these straws. I got this at the Pier 1 going out of business sale, and these are from Amazon. My computer malfunctioned, but I'm back. Hey, that's the most important thing, Kels. Hey, girl. The life you live, Mac and Fenty are couple goals. Yes. Fenty alone doesn't do it, but a new find, guys, it seems like all the time we talk makeup at the beginning of our gossip session. So that being said, Kels, I tried to do a little bit of an eyeshadow beat yesterday. Did you catch it? I did a little. Let me show you what I used. You guys will see it. I did film a get ready with me yesterday. This is kind of, I've had this for a minute, but I went in with this purple and I used that and that. And I used that for my blush. And I thought it looked cute. If you guys have not, go check it out. I mean, I did a little bit of this is my normal color. Like, so I kind of have a natural shadow to my eyelids. Like when I was a kid, when I went to Catholic school, right? When I was in 5th and 6th grade, I remember specifically in 6th grade, sometimes people would want to wear a little bit of makeup, right? And I went to Catholic school when it was still nuns. And it wasn't like mostly lay teachers. And I got accused of wearing makeup and I was not wearing makeup. And like literally one of the nuns brought me a tissue and told me to wipe off my makeup. And I was like, I don't have on makeup because I've always had this like eyeshadow look to my eyelids and a natural arch. I'm just saying. Just chapstick. And that's cool. Deanna, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't spend hours on makeup. No, I don't. I could, but I don't. I don't do all, I would love to learn how to really like do a very, very dramatic smoky dark eye. This is Studio Fix, but this is, I got the Sephora version of Studio Fix, which actually is pretty good. Did I get 2 of these or just 1? What is this? Ooh, I didn't even realize I had this. Okay. I guess this is interesting. Clear and Covered. This is a concealer with a little bit of salicylic acid. So it's kind of like you can use it over a pimple. So I guess it helps dead your pimple because it's got 2% salicylic acid, but it looks like it's a concealer. Where did I even pick this up? I did go to Sephora the other day, but this is like the version. This is the Sephora version. It's called Bright Future. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good, and I think it's like a dupe for this 24-hour smooth wear concealer. My skin is so sensitive. I can't put anything on my face if I wanted to. Start with like Cetaphil. Hopefully use a moisturizer. Hey Tasha, because you want to be able to, after you wash your face, be able to kind of replenish it. But look, makeup is makeup. You know what I'm saying? Like, to some people, makeup, like I've got foundation on, period. Because I have to, because I'm on here with you guys, and I don't know. If I felt like I wanted to not wear foundation, I would not wear foundation. As you can see in my vlog, there are times when I am vlogging that you are not going to see me with a lick of makeup on, because that's how I live my life. Now, when I come on here for an hour to come talk shit, well, I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup. Just like I said, I could not imagine vlogging in my bed, on my belly. Now, the other day, I was talking to you guys. That's not vlogging. That was actually, I don't consider that vlogging, but you guys can call it whatever you want. Doing a live stream, that's not a vlog. To me, a vlog is when you are going somewhere, doing something, doing like a live stream. I don't know. That's not a vlog to me, but I don't know. You guys call it whatever you want. But I had mentioned that I would never vlog from my bed, and much less on my belly, in my under the covers, when I probably should be maybe sleeping or resting or getting my head together. But I think I talked to you guys one day last week or the week before last, and someone had like mentioned, because I said I would never do that, but I didn't do that. I was sitting up in my bed on an evening that I did not really plan on vlogging, but I said, let me go live for a little bit so we could talk about, I guess, whatever was going on at the time. But whatevs. Let's see. Kels, you say you've got a little makeup addiction. So do I. So do I. I have a lot. This is my, I hadn't shown you guys this, but this is, these Lazy Susans. So this is one of those Lazy Susans you normally have like your spices in. So I've got this on a shelf next to my desk, and this is like, that's what I use on like a regular schmegular, with these brushes. But I have 3 drawers of makeup right here, makeup and skincare. I like it. Like this live, please, por favor, s'il te plaît. Okay, Kiki, you signed up to Ipsy. Ipsy, I don't know. You do, Kels? I just got these on Amazon. I used this one today because somehow I used a powder and I ended up with a bunch of cotton all over my face, and I'm pissed. These are Zaria, something. I don't know. They seem pretty decent. I like them because they're not as, they don't feel like super synthetic. These are the Morphe brushes, and I like these brushes, but you know, I don't know. I haven't used all of them, but I love this brush. This is a very good brush. But I've got a really good set of IT Cosmetics. This is a brush I got for free. I just use this for powder. I know, Anna. I knew you were going to say something. I was like, if Anna's here, she's going to say something. I know, and that's kind of why I don't use my Morphe brush as much. So I get it. Friend, you've been to the Morphe store on no, Queen V. Can you school me on that? What and where? On SP in South Park? So there's a Morphe store in South Park now? Is that what you mean by SP? I've been to the mall once in the past 7 months because of Corona. I don't want to say I'm scared, but girl, I can't get no damn C19. I'm going to learn about makeup today. Yeah. No, I mean, is this going to be a makeup show today? Okay. Where? So is it in the mall or is it in the vicinity of the mall? What did I just do with the cover? Oh. Bloop. Yeah, and I know. But didn't they divest Jeffree Star out of, I mean, this brush didn't do anything wrong. It's the powers that be. I'm feeling this one. I can't wait to use this one, but I think I might save this for to use for facials or it's pretty, right? I love a good white cream color brush. But these are in Amazon. These are on Amazon. These are on my storefront. I did link them as one of my favorite things. So if you guys, I'll double check, but if you guys, most of the time, if I tell you something's on Amazon, it's in my link. So I don't know if I put that in my description box, but it's in my overhead. If you click on that, I've got a couple of lists that Eiffel Tower. I will make sure that's on there today. Somebody asked me about the rack on Friday. I will put that on there. Anything for vlogging or, broadcasting, YouTubing, whatever. Some things are on there. Some things are not. I like those Sonia, is it Kashuk brushes too. I don't always buy them because sometimes I do feel like not Target in whole, but those brushes are a little overpriced for what they are, and I could just go to Ulta. Ulta, I feel like, has decent brushes, and so does Sephora. So, you did an Ipsy. So, guys, Kiki did an Ipsy review. If any of you guys are Ipsy patrons, check out her review. What was the, I guess we have to go see. I was gonna say, what was your outcome? Was it good? Or I guess we have to go watch it. Fred, I love the flowers in the back. They're beautiful. Okay, so that was a DIY. Would you like for me to talk to you guys about it really quick? They are ethical too. You know why? Because I've reused them. They are some flowers that, these were fresh. And they're a mixture of fresh, which are these. I want to be gentle with them, or else they will break, they'll fall apart. But these are dried roses, and these are some Amazon roses. Is this going to be like a whole Amazon thing today, where you guys are going to hear about everything that's in my storefront? And thank you for asking, Cheryl. But yes, they are absolutely gorgeous, right? And I did this myself. Your girl's talented over here, okay? I'm a little, I can do a little something, something. Okay. So yes. Let me turn them. That's not the best side. Okay. Yes. Okay. There. Thank you. The life you live made up your. Are you? I am not a florist. High priestess vibes. I am not. But you know, like most women, we are many things, right? We are all things. There's nothing that I won't claim to be unless I decide that that's just not something that I want to do. But yeah, um I love keeping beautiful. If I have some flowers that die beautifully, I will find something to do with them. I'll either make like some potpourri with them, or I don't know, sometimes I just bag them and keep them. I have some of the roses from my wedding bouquet still. So it just depends. They have to dry the right, it has to be like the right feeling. But they dried pretty, and I got those flowers from Amazon, and that was that. So let's see. Anything else? So yeah, I'm gonna put that in my storefront. Those roses, that Eiffel Tower. Someone asked me about something else recently too, and if it's not there, you were looking for it, just go and you will find it. What is today's topic? It's today is a catch-all UK buzz. We're just talking. It's Monday, so we're just getting caught up. So that's it. I was going to say many, many hats. Yeah. I mean, shoot. I don't limit myself. Let's see. Guys, so Tay Fizzy, where are you, hun? She was saying she was being bad. Did you guys see Tay Fizzy in Olivia's chat? Olivia's chat, I'm going to say, with all due respect, and I'm sure somebody could be saying the same thing about me right now, is that her live was as boring could be. It was awful. I was trying to figure out how she managed to find someplace to live that couldn't probably be any more like the last place she lived, in terms of like having the microwave where it is. I was just like, for a second, I was like, are you back in Florida? Then I feel like she's trying to make it seem like she's in Cali, which I don't think. I think she's also trying to allude, once again, like that Gerard did something to her. I heard that she got lip injections. I think Miss Official A posted something. I also saw some pictures. I don't get it. Like, did she get the lip injections? Is she trying to make it seem like someone punched her in the face? Somebody was in the chat talking about they were in Tyler, Texas, and she was kind of just like, okay. I mean, Tyler's not super close. It's not super far either, but I think that's East Texas. It's on the, Tyler it's on the east side of Texas, but it's not like it's super close to Dallas or Houston. I remember when I went to school in Houston, there were some guys that lived on my floor from Tyler, and it was like, okay. Shouts out to Kiasha if you're around. Kiasha is in Dallas. All of my Dallas friends. Them lips look terrible. Yes, she did. She said she paid $1,000. For what? She got fillers in her lips? Like, what did she get, Ebony? Braxton Goins says, I love her so much. Love who? Olivia? Fillers. Why did she get fillers? Did she think she didn't have enough lips? I feel like she has a very full bottom lip. I mean, I don't know about her top lip, but like, girl, who cares? Yeah, like, I think, I mean, I think most people have one lip that's going to dominate over the other. Like, thankfully, my lower lip dominates my top lip. Because if it wasn't, it would be like, and that's not cute. So I get getting fillers then. However, we have what we have. You know what I mean? When people get the wait, now you're gonna look like who does that? Who needs that? Right, exactly, Nisha. Just like what I just did. So you make it more pronounced. Look, I'm not giving look, I swear to God, I'm not giving you guys the finger, but I'm just using this. Okay, let me stop. If any of you out there are thinking of getting a filler, just understand this is what it's gonna. You can figure out what your lips will look like more pronounced by just pulling it back and seeing how silly you look and leave it alone. Just leave it alone, right? Pineapples is dying laughing. And Nisha, I'm just saying, like, leave it alone. Look, I'm gonna give you the top 5 reasons to go and get some plastic surgery. You have no ass. Now that's an emergency. I'm sorry. And if you are not a black or brown woman, this may not apply to you. However, I think universally women now realize the importance of a dunk, right? Now, but mostly in the black community, and I almost feel like in the brown community, you will be shunned if you have no ass at all. There's all kinds of jokes about no ass at all. No ass at all is a serious problem for a brown woman. And that means if you have no ass at all, that means you have no hips. So if you have hips, if you don't have hips and you have no ass, that is a plastic surgery emergency. Okay. Now, for our brown and Caucasian women, I know that it's a dire emergency when you are flat chested. Now, black women, we don't care as much about big boobs. Most black men don't care so much about big boobs. But I know that our sisters, our Caucasian sisters need boobs bad. Like they have to have big boobies. They don't care about butts. They will do their little squats and get a little something back there, but they don't care so much about no ass at all. If they have no boobs, that's a problem, right? Okay. Now, sometimes where I grew up in the Northeast, I had many friends who got nasal plastic surgery at very early ages. Sometimes they said that they had, deviated septums, they had all kinds of problems. And that hook that I have, I'm from the Northeast, guys. So I went to school, lived with many people from many different parts of Europe. So if they may be Greek or they may be whatever nationality, if you have a hook or some sort of whatever, something, along with a deviated septum at 16 or 17, yeah, your parents might be getting you a nose job. And I know that was a problem, right? Another reason to get plastic surgery is you just have an accident. You get disfigured. Something happens, you get a bad scar, something happens and you must get it fixed, right? Um Number 5, I was going to say extremely large boobs, but that's not a problem for some people. Um, I know some men, let's not leave the men out. They are very troubled by that hairline. So if you are challenged in the hair department for some of these guys, I would say probably a hair transplant is probably an emergency for a guy. A hair transplant for a guy is probably just as bad as no ass at all or no tits at all, right? So those are probably my 5 top. No butt, no boobs, a nose, you have been disfigured for some reason, and a hair transplant. Those are five. How, I mean, are those, I would say those are five good anything else, you just need to deal with what God gave you. Equally as effed up. Is that what you're saying? Pineapples? All of those are bad. No butt, no boobs. Your nose is like the center of your face. So I don't care what nationality you are. If your nose is jacked and you feel like you must, then you should. If you have been disfigured, because that's an emergency, you're not like something happened and you want to go back to where you were. So that's legit, right? And then for the guys, yeah, those hair transplants. If you are in a bad enough shape that you are consulting for a hair transplant, then it must be bad. And you are not Michael Jordan, so you probably need to go ahead and get that done. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Look, there's nothing wrong. Look, if you love your nose, if someone hates their nose, they know who they are. You know what I mean? I'm fine with mine too. But if you hate it and you're not happy and you think you need to do something about it, you know what I mean? That's probably why you are consulting the plastic surgeon. You know what I'm saying? So, I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, yes, you would love a rhinoplasty. So, you know what I'm saying? Now, Sofa, I think you have a beautiful nose. I do. We've talked about this before. Just cut the tip. Don't get a pointy tip. Whatever you do, don't get a pointy tip. Don't, when you go with your, oh, let me show you your like vision board of the look that you want. Pointy tip. I think that pointy tip thing happened by mistake. I think that was just years of abusing that nose. Did you guys hear how many people have tested positive for C19 at that house in Washington? I don't want y'all, have you seen him with the mask on now? This is a trip. Considering someone who did not want to wear a mask at all. Oh man, the picture just flipped. Oh, it looks like they are like, you can't go nowhere. Sit your butt. Stay in your office. Stay. Have a seat. Have it. Sit down. He looks like, but I want to go out. The orange man. He's not going to. When they tell him he can't get up under that tanning bed, he's going to be mad. They probably either his makeup or but the press secretary, White House secretary tests positive for the big C. White House press secretary Kayleigh, is it McEnany has tested positive for C19. Okay. She tweeted in a statement Monday morning. McEnany emphasized that she has previously tested negatively consistently and is experiencing no symptoms. McEnany is the latest staffer to test positive for the virus, adding to questions about how widespread the West Wing outbreak will become. McEnany's diagnosis is a stark reminder that the administration has flouted science and best practices before and even after the president tested positive. She continued to publicly shirk mask usage in the days since President Orange Man and other staffers and outside advisors tested positive for the virus. She was scheduled to appear on Fox News on Monday morning, but the appearance was canceled. The press secretary later shared she was positive for the V. Okay. And I'm taking a little license with some words because the algorithm will pick them up, and yeah, we're not doing that. McEnany also wrote Monday that she will begin the quarantine process, meaning that she will isolate when so top advisor Hope Hicks died. Well, so this is all in light of what happened with Hope Hicks, right? They had a picture of this woman who just do I have I think it was on BuzzFeed. Hold on. They had a picture of her on BuzzFeed, and basically she was doing like a whole entire press conference, like 6 feet away from people. Hey, Felita, with no mask on. Hi, Amber. Is it Arbor? Hello, I'm from Albania. Well, that's awesome. Welcome to the chat. Moving in silence. Hello, Elise Buck. I know we spoke earlier, but hello. Let me. Okay. Hi, Anna. When you have been exported, you quarantine. When you test positive, you isolate. When you have been exposed, Anna, is that what you're saying? When you've been exposed, you quarantine. When you test positive, you isolate. So what you're saying is, I just want to translate for everybody, which I mean might seem obvious, but so when you have been exposed, you may say, gosh, my whole family, we were around I'm hypothetical. You may shut it down around your house. Nobody goes out. You guys sit still, get out of the way for 2 weeks. When you test positive, you further quarantine, isolate like in your bedroom and away from the family. Do not expose yourself to anyone else. You take meals through the door, and everybody is using the most precautions that they possibly can so that they don't get contaminated. Hi, Ange. How are you? Dana, I'm doing fabulous, and I hope that you are too. 45 leaving hospital today at 6:30. LaQuinta is saying that the only surgery that she would have is either LASIK or getting a mole removed. Now, mole is not even, I wouldn't even consider plastic surgery because a mole can be preventative to your skin health. So let's just say that that's like some type of maintenance, right? Because you don't want that to turn to like a skin cancer if you are prone to that in your family, right? Now LASIK, I think LASIK is kind of essential, but I mean, but a butt is essential too. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm sorry, there have been songs written to butts. So butts are important. Humble yourself. You are so right. It's true. Trini's fabulous, and I hope you are too. Yeah, you just have to be so careful. Like, we really don't go anywhere. Where have I been? It's like we go so few places, I don't even know where I go anymore. We go to Home Depot sometimes. We picked up some Chinese food on Saturday. When I got groceries, I got Sam's last week. We got Walmart delivered this week. I went to CVS drive-through. I went to PetSmart to pick up mommy's medicine. And yet I bought myself an entire fall wardrobe because I'm like, I still need to get dressed up. You know what I mean? Like, but today I just have on, athleisure. I'm just doing a cami and leisure pants and a sweat jacket, you know, that's it. But yeah, even with going nowhere, I still want to look nice. You know what I mean? I got to stop though. I told myself I'm done for fall clothes and I still have to but I love the lace trend that's going on right now. I don't. I really don't. Life with Monique. I typically just send it to Goodwill. I need to because I have a closet of like literally I made a decision that the clothes that are in that closet, aside from all of my juicy stuff that I'm getting ready to take out and wash, um, I'm getting rid of all that stuff. I don't want it because I've got a lot of new clothes that I bought over the past like year or so, and yeah, some of that stuff has got to go. I think I might do a Poshmark. Why not? Because I've got time. But I really think I want to kind of bundle stuff. So like maybe like a stack of t-shirts, a stack of jeans. So I probably have like I'm sure I have some 16s and 18s that I can get rid of because everything I'm wearing a 14. So anything over that size is really kind of too big. Plus I'm short, so I'm like right at 5'4". Yes, dear? Huh? Okay, dear. You say it one more time. You said thank She said thank you for something. Babe, what? I sometimes I'm just like I can't hear. Fran, did you try on a haul video? Not yet. Yesterday, so which top? Last Friday I had on a long sleeve black lace top. That is the match to oh, it's right there. Um Who's a 16 or an 18? I actually have a chandelier. My chandelier that I used to have in here, I took down. It was like gold with beads and stuff on it. I would pack that up and send it to whomever. I put it on Poshmark for like postage. It really is nice. But I'm not going to use it. Nobody here in the house wants it. Farah she likes having a ceiling fan. Um, What? Somebody with this who, me? Yes. Are you Queen V, are you talking about me? Yes. So I used to think when people would say shelf, because you know there's a shelf and there's a slope when you're talking about butts, like when you the Brazilian butt lifts and things like that. I do have a shelf. I have a pretty prominent shelf and like a half slope. So a friend of mine always used to say that I had a shelf butt, and I was always really kind of insulted. But I was watching this girl on her BBL journey, and she was like, "Yeah," she was showing some pictures on her like her wish list for her BBL surgery, and she was saying, "Yeah, I want a shelf," and I was like, "Shelf?" I was like, "Is that really a thing?" Like, do we really I just didn't know that that was actually a term that you would use at the doctor's office, the BBL office, and say, "I want a shelf and the slope." So, yeah. Mhm. High pockets. I'm more of a slope person though. I really wish I had more of this like the smooth slope, but I know, I mean, Oh, my my what is this thing called? Is it Echo? Whatever that thing is. It just told me that something that I've been watching on Amazon has a deal on it. Yes, Sarah, because you get the rump, but then you get the nice so I think it will smooth out your waist more and hips. So hold on. I'm going to show you guys this one day when we talk vision boards. But this is like a vision board I had done a long time ago, but this is I have to find some better pictures, but oh, I need to find one from behind so you can see when I actually had the shelf. I mean, have more of my slope as I'm smaller. But someone said something to me last week, and I was just like, something about like made an observation and attributed it to weight loss. And I was just like, no, maybe it was to the weight gain. And now it's going back to the woman, to myself. Like, girl, it's not all about losing some weight. Like people think that people get like a big head because they lost a couple of pounds. I'm like, maybe that's you. Like, ma'am, don't get it twisted that you actually like know me. Okay. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, I was just getting ready to weird. Maybe this is getting suggested all around. But yeah, okay, so let's see, where was I? Anyway, I have this I have to show I'm gonna flash it to you guys. But anyway, this was like an electronic vision board that I did. If you guys want to talk about it, we'll talk about it on my other channel, but I did kind of want to, we just got into fourth quarter, and I know that I was looking at my vision board from January, and I kind of felt like everything had got, basically just shot up just because, this whole thing happened. And I realized like how much like on goal I actually was for just some things I wanted to do self-development wise, because at the end of the day, I mean, life, life is going on. If you're on this live chat today, life has continued. I know that, it's not what we planned, but of course, with any good plans, we always have to make adjustments because sometimes what you want is just right around the corner and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to achieve it just because sometimes things happen, right? And then sometimes other things happen and then create obstacles. But then maybe sometimes we have to clear those obstacles away and, keep moving. Oh, Asia, you're saying you want to keep your weight. You like a little bit of your weight gain. Is that what you're saying? Or what is it? I can't believe it's almost time to make new vision boards. Yes, ma'am. It is. Yeah. Yeah. Um, Yeah, my vision board, Oprah had done, if you guys want to talk about this, Oprah had done, and I have a couple of copies of this. I actually have a small version of this right next to my bed. So I did this. Oprah had done something about vision boards, and it was like on the Walgreens site. This was a long time ago because we were not even married yet. We didn't even have Farrah yet. So this was over like 10 years ago. So because this year would be, I guess, 10 years that has it been 10 years? I don't know, it could be almost 11. You know how you start to lose track? Anyway, I knew that there were things in my mind that I wanted, and I didn't know what the future was going to look like. So I just talked about things like, good health, for us to be together, be in a larger home, I used a picture of my parents. You know, there's a picture of me and Raheem, us super duper young. And then just some words, like some things to kind of like meditate on, that I wanted to be in like a bigger house. You know, a full life and to grow old together. You know, I wanted us to do things like travel, so get our and it was funny because almost soon after I made this, we were on our way to on a trip to Grand Cayman and Jamaica. Also, Little Mama's on here. And I keep this because I feel like even though lots of things have changed, obviously we had a baby, but I did have like a pair of big feet and little feet, so that was kind of a image of having a baby. But I had the like 3 words that resonated with me was fearless, fabulous, and fortunate. Okay. But yeah, you guys, if you haven't worked on a vision board, it's not like, oh, January, let's work on a vision board. It's today I decided that I'm going to do something with some goals that I want to meet and exceed, or I want to see my life a certain way. And I'm going to put some imagery up that's going to help me focus on making sure that I get to where I want to go. Yeah, I think we were in Georgetown, if that's the name of we were on a cruise. Asia, let's see. Dancing made me lose hella weight. I think dancing as in the kind, you know, entertainment dancing. Yeah, exotic. Of the exotic variety. Of the don't stop, the kind that we all love. I mean, dancing all together, we all love it. You know what I'm saying? Like ballet, jazz, tap, exotic. But yeah. You want to go to Belize? I heard Belize is really nice. But yeah, guys, hello, vision boards. Sofa time. I mean, if you guys want to do a vision board, I say let's do one this week. And it doesn't have to be a vision board workshop. It just needs to be, I'm getting square with my goals. I got some stuff I want to do. Maybe it's saving for Christmas. Maybe it's I want a new car, or I need a deposit, or I'm buying that fur coat this year. I don't care what happens, or I'm treating myself to this, that, and the third, or forget about I'm stopping this. It's more so I see my life as that. Forget about, don't put on a vision board what you don't want. Put on the vision board what you do want. I just want that to be clear. So in what you are envisioning, what you want to see, what you would like to have manifest is what you want to see, not what you don't want to see. So one word of advice for any of you listening today that have a bad habit of constantly talking about what you don't want, eradicate that from your conversation. If you hear it even eking out your lips, stop yourself, because the awareness will help you stop saying it. And once you have complete awareness, you will stop highlighting it, because if you're thinking about it, you know how they say your thoughts become your actions, and your actions is that's where you're at, right? So just vision board is a focus on what you want, right? And what you want to have happen and what you would like to manifest in your life. So if it's happiness, if it's a marriage, if it's a new job, if it's, an awesome wardrobe, if it's another baby, if it's another whatever, those are the things that you want to do. Do I have a blog? Yes. It's francoisevlogs.com. So if you go up to my banner, click on the banner and it'll take you to my website. I have a vlog channel too, but yeah, everything's up in my banner. and pretty much for the most part, you'll get where you, but yeah, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And that's super duper important because, that way you can always make sure that you are going in the direction of things that are worth your time, things that are going to advance you in the direction of the life that you want to live and not the life that you don't want to live. But what were we talking about? Yeah, I was over at Liv's live and I was just like, what's going on? So is she in California, guys? I don't know. Last I thought she was in Texas, just because I was like, that would just make the most sense that she would be going somewhere where she could go, you know, her kids could be near their dad. She did say something about a trip, girls trip. So I don't know if she was in Texas and she went to Cali for the weekend. I'm not sure. Someone's mentioning something about the Galapagos Islands in Morocco. All amazing choices. So Humble Yourself is saying that every time she writes something down that she wants, it always seems to come to fruition. I was going to share something. Let me share something with you guys too. Sometimes I just feel like this isn't the stuff you guys want to hear on this channel. I was going in one of my planners, and guys, this planner, just so you can see, oh, I used to like, why do people cover all this stuff up online? I used to be like, that's weird. Anyway, look at that, March 2016, okay? So clearly I'd started using something else. But the funny thing is I'd written something down. I was in here, right? I'm going to share this with you guys. If you guys want to go deep on this, we can, because I love doing this kind of stuff. So I started writing down in 2016. I was working for Walmart. Okay. I worked for Walmart corporate. The very, very tough company to work for, period. Okay. 2016, you know what I decided that I was going to do? I'd written this down, guys. So any of you guys probably try and screen grab it. Good luck reading my handwriting. 2016 was going to be my year of stay in your lane. Okay. I'm not lying. Let me pull this out. You guys might not want to hear this. I don't know. If you don't, let me know. 2016, stay in your lane. Okay. What I had written down was focus. Okay. Because I found, I'll share my awareness about that in like another topic we could talk about later, but it was focus. Stay in my assigned work stream. You know, sometimes, you know, when you see that sometimes I'm sure a lot of you are very knowledgeable in many places. Do you find that you're with your coworkers and you kind of know the answer to something and you're just kind of like, I had to find that I had to not dumb myself down, but let other people do their job, right? Do we not talk about this on that channel when I'm like, let your man be a man, let that person do their job, you do your, like, you're the wife, you're the girlfriend, I'm not going to talk all gender role-ish, but let's just say you're the woman, he's the man, you're the mom, there's the child. Stay in your assigned work stream, okay? Listen more. You guys are going to die on this one. Speak less. Allow others to work their process. So what this was a huge year of learning for me because I had to learn how to just take a step back. I had to learn how to have a seat. Okay. 2016. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because 2017, I said, I'm going to get a promotion. 2017 was promotion. 2017 right there. Okay. But I wrote this in March of 2016. 2016, end of 2016, going into 2017, I got laid off. My project was done. I got laid off from my job. I ended up going to another company. It wasn't necessarily a promotion, but everything that I did was magnified. So in a way, it sort of was a promotion because I ended up doing more, making a little more, and having more it was a promotion of sorts in my career, right? I said I wanted development and growth, which I definitely got. But I wrote down that I wanted a new job, which I ended up getting because I got laid off. I wanted more money. I got that because I got laid off. And I wanted a new house, which I didn't get it that year in 2017. I got it in 2019. Okay. I wrote down in here, y'all, 2016 to 2021. Okay. My 5-year plan. I'll share that with you guys if you want me to. I don't want to bore you guys if this is boring. But I wrote down a freaking 5-year plan, and I just found this the other day. And I was like, oh my God, I've got one more year to finish like a bunch of this stuff. But I've knocked some of this stuff off the list, and I wasn't even paying attention to it. I wrote all these things down from a 5-year plan. Okay. Okay. Some LaQuinta's saying it's not boring. I was shocked. I was shocked because sometimes I've thought about writing a 5-year plan, and I'm just like, when am I going to really look at this? Where's my 5-year? I have a calendar I got last year, and it's like a 5-year calendar. It's actually what I write a lot of my YouTube stuff down in, because every month I was out of discipline with it. I wasn't doing it every month, but I've started going back and putting in as much numbers as I can recall. I do, but I know sometimes, I mean, this is like tea talk, so I figure, sometimes I don't want to like interrupt the tea with, but I want to share it if you're interested, just because I feel like a lot of this stuff is stuff we all I mean, we all have hopes and dreams, right? But I think sometimes, this is gossip hour. So I don't want to interrupt the entertainment with, I guess edutainment, but we can always talk about this stuff over here. I mean, most definitely. So I wrote down some things. So my 5-year plan, number one, I'll share a couple of things, but I really think I'm going to rewrite this now because, of course, I want to make some adjustments because one of the things for sure was a new house. We were living in 1,100 square feet, and I wrote down that I wanted 2,500 square feet. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we're going to over double. I don't know. Sometimes I get, you have a 5-year plan too. I wish I could take this out my thing, but I just can't seem to do it. Anyway, so hold on. So I wrote down, some of you guys might know my, so my old place was McAlpine Lane. You guys know that, or whatever, 2,500. Can you guys see 2,500 square feet? And I said I wanted to rent it out, but we didn't end up renting it out. We ended up selling it. And I wrote down that I wanted a detached garage. I said I wanted a pool. Y'all, I said I wanted a glam room. Okay. Glam room. So I got my glam room. I didn't get my pool yet. We don't have a detached garage. And we didn't turn the old house to an investment property. But it's like when you write these things down, it does help you. It gives you some focus, even though I have not looked at this in a long time because I started using a different planner. I don't know why. And it could have been maybe because I got laid off from my job. I wasn't using my planner as much. Oh, Ariana, you said this is the kind of content you enjoy the most. I'd rather hear something that is inspiring as opposed to the latest gossip. Okay, well, me too. Me too. So yeah, I'm glad that you guys are interested in this. I wrote my 5-year plan on someone's YouTube page and asked LOL, and met every goal except one. I came across my comment this year and was like, oh shit, I did that. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Um, I said, I had some stuff that I wrote down for Farah, things that I was hoping for her and Raheem. Us definitely, happy vacations, that we're saving money and, enjoying life. As far as for me and a job, I, I wrote down Walmart or another because clearly I was still with Walmart at the time. I hadn't been laid off yet, but I wanted to be a key stakeholder. So some sort of senior manager, director, executive level. I found in working in corporate America, sometimes I feel like I definitely have hit the glass ceiling, and that's a whole nother topic of conversation. But I feel like sometimes when you have a certain type of personality, I'm not a type of person who has to be me, and I don't necessarily impose myself so much on other people. I definitely am someone who will step to the back. However, I find that no matter what, there's always going to be I don't know, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be like, um, but I had to learn, over time, I had to learn like to really like chill and not show everyone everything all at once. And that kind of was some of my downfall in corporate America, because when I wrote down something about letting other people work through their process, people don't always like someone coming in and doing their job for them. And I had to realize that really when I was a manager. It wasn't so much that my employees weren't okay with it, because yeah, I was the one staying till 7, 8 o'clock at night. I had to learn that I had to let other people do their own work, because at the end of the day, people were certainly letting me do mine and theirs. So it was also just from a standpoint of in a in the in an opportunistic way of people taking advantage of my kindness and my willingness to partner and wanting to be helpful and all that stuff. I'm sitting there like doing the most, and they're getting promoted, and I'm sitting there looking silly. You know what I'm saying? So those were things I had to really, really learn, to just kind of like, girl, do your work and you sit back and then you work on something else, or maybe just get online and take a couple of those classes that you have lined up. And in your development track, because if you work for a large company, you may have training modules that you can go into at any time. And Cheryl, let me tell you, people who've worked in the stores, that's a whole nother beast in of Walmart, right? Because it's a lot. But corporate, going to Bentonville, Arkansas, and working with people who were born and raised in that general area, along with people who come in from all over the world globally to come work for this huge, huge entity. Um, it's extremely competitive, extremely competitive. It's like going to me, I mean, you are with people who have gone to the best universities, who have worked for the best, largest blue chip companies. It's extreme, and you have a lot that you can learn from people every single. It was a lot. It was like working in a pressure cooker, but I would not trade up for anything in the world. It was one of the best experiences of my life. However, yeah, I had to learn. I learned a lot about myself working there. But anyway, and this is something I can send out to any of these moms out here and any of us moms on here. I had to remember, I wrote down something else in 2016. Be nice. Be nice. Be a happy mom. I feel like today, since we've been home with this quarantine, I've been closest to a happy mom than I think I've ever been. I haven't felt more like a mom since I've been home with, this quarantine. I wrote down, and it kind of touched me the other day, seeing that, be a happy mom, and I put a smiley face. Um, I felt that. I didn't have time to be a happy mom. I was like a transactional mom. Let me get those clothes. Let me pay this bill. Let me do this. Let me do that. I got to go buy clothes. I got to go pick up there. I got to do this. I got to do that. Now I can do stuff because I want to do something. Or let me put some oil in your hair. Let me spray your hair down. Oh, it's wash day. It's more fun. You know what I mean? I'm getting the fun chance of what momming was kind of about. But I was like, really, it was nice to see some of these things that I wrote down for myself that I didn't bother to go back to read, but things that I guess I had started to do. And then I'm always writing some kind of tips to success. Wow, Fran, it's great to hear you say that, because that's what scares me. It's look, we do the best we can every day. And I think sometimes there's realities that are just going to hit you in the face and you're just going to be like, because you're there now. You know what I mean? Sometimes all we can do is be transactional mom. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't mean that we don't love our kids, but sometimes you have so much on that to-do list, you got to get it done. And if you stop for a minute, everything could stop. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have the luxury of even like 5 minutes of time. So don't be scared. It's okay. You're going to get everything done you need to get done, and you're going to give the love that you're able to give, because sometimes, and really all the time, we can't do everything. You know what I mean? And so this is one of the things I wrote down as a tip to success. This is tips to success. I wrote down, believe and trust you. Um, Work hard, do my best daily, never give anyone a chance to find poor quality work. Cause oh my God, there's nothing worse than messing up, right? Um, Own up to mistakes and make quick adjustments. That's what I would always hate, is going to a meeting, finding out that you messed something up. They didn't bother to tell me. They told my boss, and I'm at a meeting looking stupid. I hated that. And that was like my life at Walmart sometimes. Um, Own up to mistakes and make quick adjustments. That's when I learned how to just kind of follow up with my business partners all the time. Whenever I had a deliverable and I would deliver, I would always go back, follow up, post-mortem. Do we need to make adjustments? Check in weekly. I did not want to give a chance of anyone going back and saying, you know what I mean? Like, everyone makes mistakes, but sometimes any of you guys who are in high pressure work environments, don't wait for people to come back to you. Make a practice of going back to the businesses that you support, your business partners, whomever, and going back and making sure that the quality is what they needed and what they expected. If there were any challenges, if there were any opportunities, and that you can go back and fix before your manager finds out, because it's not to say like, oh, get in trouble, but it's more so, and she came back, wanted to know what we needed tweaked it, fixed it, and you know what I mean? Like, oh, he or she's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, be proactive. And it's not even just so much proactive in fixing your mistakes, but being proactive in your work with your business, because just as processes change, your business changes, and the businesses that you support change. And sometimes if you're not at the top of the food chain, unfortunately, we don't always find out when there have been adjustments in project plans, processes, everything. So staying in touch with your business, especially when you are a low-level support manager, project person, whatever, When you find out that something, when a colleague shares with you that something has changed, now you've got to make adjustments. And if you're able to make an adjustment on something and your manager's kind of like, wow, how did you know about that? Or when did you find out about that? Or, oh, and you that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like it just, I had to really learn about, because sometimes it's not always being spoon-fed information. Because when you work for large entities, sometimes you're not on those emails. Sometimes you got missed on that distribution list. It's so much. There's so much going on in corporate America, guys. I feel like my corporate America life has taught me so much, and I'm so glad to not really see any of those people right now for, in the way that I used to have to on a daily basis and driving into the parking deck and all that stuff. It's been amazing. So LaQuinta, I wasn't always happy mom because I didn't know how to help my son with his health issues, but educating myself changed that. And I sought out multiple specialists for answers to help him. Pineapple says, yes, this has been a great time to get your mommy time in during the quarantine. Yes. And even just to reflect on how can I rebrand myself? How can I get the respect that I want? How can I get that job that I want? How can I maneuver in the way that I want? How can I get more of what I want? Because right now is such a great time to distance yourself from toxic people. A lot of us are in environments with people that we would have absolutely nothing to do with if we were not sitting next to them at a desk, right? And sometimes learning to deal with different personalities, it's going to be an on the job thing. So you're trying to get your job done. You're trying to navigate the social kind of mores of the culture of the business that you're working for. And then somebody's trying to like take you down. You know what I mean? There's people who are vying for your job. There are people who just don't like you for whatever reason. They think you're too fabulous. They think you're too frumpy. They think you're weird. They're mad, they're lonely, or they are overwhelmed, and it just makes them happy to F with you, whatever the case might be. I'll tell you a story. When I first got to Walmart, there was a girl that I worked with. She was actually my partner. So I was hired as a senior recruiter, and this girl was hired as a corporate recruiter. So we were both manager level, but I managed our coordinator who you guys met at my party, Shakoya. So Shakoya was our recruiting coordinator, and she had just graduated from college a couple of years before. But as you guys know, if you watched my vlog, she since went on and went to nursing school. Now she is a RN. Okay. Anyway, but she has her degree in, I believe she has her degree in human resources. So she has a bachelor's in science, and she's an RM. So this person who was my partner on site at this center that we were building up, that we were hiring a large number of people for, over 1,000 people. We had to hire in like 18 months, which eventually ended up to be like a little over 2 years. Anyway, long story short, I did not know that this person had interviewed for my job. So she applied for the job that I had. I didn't know that, but they hired her for a lesser position. When I tell you this person hated my effing guts from day one, like the first day she snapped at me, and I was like, golly. And I tried so hard to be nice to her. And I even tried so hard. I was so nice to her. It was unbelievable. Anyway, long story short, she used to say things that would make you think that she was like disgruntled. And keep in mind, we were on site with our business. So HR is part of the HR team, right? A lot of times when you're part of HR, you're sitting with the HR department, right? So I sat on site with a business. So I was sitting on site with a global shared service center, a processing center, right? And so they were part of basically like the global accounting team, but we had an on-site recruiting team because we were building up a whole entire center, right? So you're on site with the business. She would say all kinds of crazy stuff, and just not appropriate behavior. Any of you guys out there in HR, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Just imagine any of you, whatever department you work in, your HR department, your HR person is sitting right there next to you, right? That's kind of what it was, but not really, like on a very large scale. Long story short, I found out this person had looked up. So we have access to all systems. This person like looked up personal information about, so like doxing, right? Okay, let me put this in YouTube terms. This person basically looked up my information in a system that we're trusted to have lots of access to, everybody's salary information, addresses, everything. She looked me up and a couple of other people and got our personal information, and she was using it to kind of like, she would be pissed. So immediate grounds for termination, right? But I didn't know that she had done that. One day she said something and it made me think, how do you know this? So instead of looking up anyone else, because if I looked, let's say Sarah's wife style, if my name was attached, like if my name was in your file, I need to have a business reason to be in there. So let's just say I was transferring you to another department. I worked on your offer. You got a promotion. I worked on your offer. I'm all up in your file. I have a business reason. I'm working with one manager to place you into another department, right? She had no reason to be in my file. And you can see outside of an IT person, you could always see the last person that looked at a file, right? I looked myself up. And on April 1st of that year, whatever year that was, I remember it was April 1st because it was April Fool's Day. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. It was just the confirmation that I needed that she had looked me up in PeopleSoft on April Fool's Day, that was a bad decision to make. But anyway, she was using that information basically to be disgruntled about her salary, about lots of different things, about many different people. It wasn't just about me. It was her, period, and a lot of people. But anyway, the divine payback was that many months later, it was all found out in an investigation. She was very inappropriate and would run her mouth, and she ended up getting terminated, but she had just come back from a trip to Disney, and she came in. Our boss, it was right after Thanksgiving. It was the Monday after Thanksgiving, and my boss was there, and she came in from Arkansas, like Monday after Thanksgiving weekend. So you know it was a problem. She had her game face on. She was a beautiful woman. She was like part Native American, tall, brunette, gorgeous. Just flew into town and was just like, where's so-and-so? And I was just like, well, you know, she was on vacation last week. I was like, she should be here soon. We didn't know what was happening. I was just like, me and Shakoya were like, because by then we had realized what was really going on. It took a minute to figure out what she was doing and how to operate around her. But anyway, she came in, she was terminated like literally that minute. She came in, they let her go. It was awful. 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 And literally, there was nothing that I could have done. My point in telling you guys this story was I'd done nothing to her. She was mad from the minute say go. So a couple of things. If you ever apply for a job and you are looking for a senior and they hire you as as a corporate level, don't take the job. You know what I mean? If you are applying for something, unless you truly see it as a foot in the door, or you truly see it as an opportunity, or if you truly see it as a slap in the face, don't take the job. It's better to decline and say, please call me if something else opens up, or it's not the money that I want, or it's this, that, or the third. Angel Cub. So I left that out on purpose because I didn't want to make that a thing. But yes, she was a different, she was not black. Put it that way. She was so yeah, I didn't want to make that like part of the story. Because it's happened to me, not the exact same thing. Um I've had different situations. We've all had situations at work, right? Um Yeah. I mean, I think she possibly could have been a racist. It's unfortunate, but yeah. And the reason why I didn't make that as, tell that as part of the story, because really this shit happens every single day. Um, but in corporate America, honestly, I have been a lot of times the only black person on my team. Or, on a team that I may support or something like that. Just, and it's not like it's a racial thing. It's just it's super competitive, and I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was just because she was a racist. I think she was a nut. Honestly, she was a nut because a couple of the other people that she basically doxed were not all, I mean, I was the only black person. Shakoya was our coordinator, but everyone else was something else. You know what I mean? There's a lot of diversity within Walmart, because they do hire people from all over the globe, but you're going to see that more so in, in certain places like in Bentonville. You're going to see lots of people from everywhere. Um, it's cut your freaking throat. Okay. I could even almost imagine in healthcare, working in the hospital, in the larger hospital chains, and you are vying for certain leadership positions. You would not think it, but even like, not to name Shakoya, if you're watching this, forgive me. This is so, my friend, she's got her bachelor's degree in business, HR. She's also a nurse. She could segue into health administration quite easily. You know what I mean? She's worked in HR. She's had, a very good amount of experience. Now she's working on the floor as a nurse. If she decides in 2 or 3 years she wants to be a manager, or she wants to go on the administration side or go work for Health and Hospitals Corporation or insurance company or anything like that, those are things that she can do. She's got hands-on, clinical, she's got business experience, and she's also worked in HR for, at the time was the largest company in the world. So that's some great experience that will get you a job, period. So but there are going to be people who are going to like chop it down. Um Also things like social media and things like that, and people looking you up. I've never been a person who, when someone applies for a job, their resume crosses my desk, that I am immediately checking their social media. Now, in specific jobs like communication or marketing or things like that, sometimes you want to make sure that people have a positive social media presence. But a lot of companies these days, because it can be discriminatory depending on what your biases may be, because we all have biases, whether you want to admit them or not. Doesn't mean you're racist, but sometimes you just think like, hey, men are stronger than women, physically, right? But there's I'm sure there's women who are stronger than men physically. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have biases, right? um there are independent companies now who will do, as part of the investigation, if that's something that is vital to the job, the social media kind of look through and make a decision, or it'll be a separate department in the company that will make those decisions, not like a person in HR, because um there's a list of criteria. But oftentimes, if it's not a large company and someone decides that they want to look at your social media. So my point is, clean up your social media, make sure it's positive, or if there's things that are negative or things that could be that could be perceived the wrong way, you want to handle or make private, things like that. But yeah, the person, she was a nut. She was a freaking nut. I was actually kind of nervous, like she was going to end up in my backyard after she was terminated. And it really wasn't even my fault she got let go. It was actually something that she said that was racist. So to your point, but it wasn't against Black people, it was against Latinos. she had said something in mixed company about we were actually moving into a new building, and she said something, and one of our colleagues is half Black and half Mexican, and she said something about, she literally said something about specific something specifically about Mexican culture. And I don't think she realized that this person was half Mexican. And that prompted a call to ethics and prompted an investigation. And I was standing right there. I heard the whole thing. Yes, it was rude. It was very rude. And it was slick rude, but it was very, I'll say it was very rude, because we're not at a barbecue. I'm none of your friends, and we don't think the same way. Like, who are like, her mistake was thinking that people were like down with what it, unprofessional. It was unprofessional on top of many other things. So all of these things came out, and the investigation about my information and these two other people's information, because I kept photocopies. I printed that stuff out with a quickness on that day, and all they had to do was do an investigation to see that she had gone into people's files and looked up salary information. I mean, she was terminated. She will never be able to work for Walmart again, period. But yeah, girl, crazy stuff. But fast forward, she left that November. I was there for another year and a half. I finished out my project, and then turned out that whole entire, so really what they did was they did a startup center to pull a process out of the stores. Any of you guys who work for Walmart, once upon a time, they used to do back office transactions in the store. And they moved it all out to a processing center. That was the processing center where I helped staff up that business, and then they moved it all to India. So initially the process was to pull it out of the stores, and then it was to eventually offshore it, which is what they did. So but yeah, she was there January to that November, and then I was there like another year and a half and finished it up. But yeah, I was glad. I try, that was a situation where I wasn't going to let someone get in front of my opportunity. Sometimes you may have someone who's at work who is trying to get in your way. Just stay clear away from that person as you possibly can. If you feel like someone is kind of bothering you, they probably are. And I would stay as far away from them as you possibly can. Even when you have to work with them, you just want to make sure that you are, even if you have to pull like a colleague in with you, like you need to meet with that person. There were a couple of people that I would meet with sometimes that I know that I'd be like, do you want to come join us? Would you like to come? They may not have understood or knew why I invited them into a meeting, but I invited them in because I knew you're not going to be up to your shenanigans if I have someone else at the table, because you're not going to say, I said this, or you asked me to do this and this wasn't done, or whatever. I also learned that after, having a meeting, yeah, 1, 2, 3, this is what we discussed. Are we good with this? Or they would send me their notes, and yes, and then this was the time frame that we agreed upon, or whatever. Just making sure that we memorialized everything. Everything was documented. Because yeah, if you feel like someone is trying to set you up, if you feel like someone is trying to get you up and out of your job, they probably are. They probably are. No, I have not. You know what? And someone asked me a question. I want to apologize. It was, I feel like it was a like a time and attendance question. And there was a couple of screenshots. Yeah, the sun was actually baking me. Um Spark higher. No. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay. So it's like a video. It's like a let me tell you, I hate video interview. Like I hate. So there's a Hire View. So Spark Hire, if you guys have ever done a Hire View, that's why I'm glad I work from home. When I was in the office, I found that most shady people. Well, still be careful because there's always that dialogue of, I couldn't get Courtney. Is she there? When you have people that all of a sudden, hey, Courtney, were you in the office yesterday afternoon? Yeah, I was here. I was in a meeting or whatever. When they have Jabber or Cisco, all these systems, Skype Business, all of these things, guys, make sure when you are supposed to be checked in, you are checked in, you are on available, you have it synced with your calendar so that when you're in a meeting, you're in a meeting. When you're away, because as soon as they start talking about, were you in the office? Were you online? Were you somebody is checking they're trying to count for your time. So just make sure that you don't get caught with the okie doke. Spark Hire, it's from what I understand, so companies like the post office, IKEA, Volkswagen, and Bay Systems is actually here in Charlotte, a defense company. So it's like HireView. So they're either going to have some questions, like pre-recorded questions, like, hi, tell me a time when you had to, hi, give me a time when you had two conflicting projects and how you managed the communication between your business partners. So, or tell me why you are most qualified for this job. Just random shit, right? Yeah, so I would do it. You get a practice. I would just make sure that when you do your practice interview, like make sure that you're like, don't, and this might be obvious, so please don't be insulted. A white blouse, a blazer. If it's a job that if it's a management position, either, some kind of nice blouse, conservative jewelry, hair, pulled back, your glasses if you need them, whatever. And personally, because you're going to be on camera, it's different from in person, where maybe if you're not a makeup user, you'll pass for, it'll be fine. But keep in mind, you may want to just put on some good moisturizer. If you're not a makeup person, don't do anything you're not, that's like out of your wheelhouse, but a little lip gloss, put some moisturizer on. Hi Margie Lee, how are you? Just so you look nice, because depending on how the lights are, if you don't have this kind of stuff at your desk that's going to make you look good regardless, put a good little tinted moisturizer on, some lip gloss, you know what I'm saying? Or make sure you're sitting by the window with the good light. It is the content that they're looking for to make a decision to, advance the interview. But also, if this is a forward-facing position where you're going to be meeting with business partners, outside clients, you don't have to be America's Next Top Model, but they're also possibly looking for a professional presentation. So you don't, thank you, Chris. You want to also make sure that you present yourself in a professional manner. You know what I mean? Because I hate to say it, it's not always the content that is going to advance you. It's going to be your professional presentation and demeanor and things like that. So, yeah. But if it's a preliminary interview, this is really kind of like a yes or no. So just be careful with the questions. You want to be as, sometimes you never know. Is it short and sweet, or is it like lots of detail? Who knows? Tamron, is this THD HR Live. We started talking about HR things. We started talking about goals, Tamara, or Tamara, I'm sorry. And I started sharing some, let me see, some kind of like writing that I was doing about like my 5-year plan. And it took a turn. But this is like stuff that I'm always working on, like for my coaching and stuff like that. Just stuff that like sometimes on Tuesdays or Thursdays, I usually drop on my other channel about just kind of making life adjustments, making adjustments in career, even making adjustments as it relates to your channel. If you have a channel, like some of us do here, and you're not seeing the results that you want, incorporate something else. Sometimes you got to work harder, right? Just many different things. So this was an interesting one that I wrote down. Follow the leader. So in a way you could convert that to, do what's trending, right? But have your own ideas. You know what I mean? So do what's trending, but it's your swag. It's your ideas. You're not going to just remake what someone else is doing. You want to follow the trends, but you want it to have your own, your own spin on it, right? Play your position, but be flexible. So yeah, just some interesting stuff, guys, but I could go on about this, like on and on and on. It's the first step. So yeah, moving in silence, definitely. What do you mind? I don't want to know the company. What type of a position is it? Can you tell us that? Like, just give us a clue. Like, I don't want to know. I don't know what city. I don't know what state. Even if I did, I wouldn't say it. Just give us a clue what type of job it is or what type of a position. I'm just curious and nothing else. Bye, Tina. Thank you for coming. Have a good afternoon. So the person that wrote me, if you guys want to hear this letter, let's see. So I can do this really quick. And maybe I just need some time to think about it because I got there were like it was kind of like a time and attendance question. Let's see. Oh my God, guys. I got this email. Okay, so I'm taking a sharp left turn, but y'all, someone had sent me some pictures of you guys all know who I'm talking about when I say this. Somebody recently was this is gonna someone was taking a shower on their YouTube channel, right? Did we all see that? I mean, some people like wash their hair and stuff like that. But it was funny. Someone sent me this email and it was weird. A whole email address. And I appreciated them sending it to me, but I was just like, I won't be using this. I mean, literally, this is crazy. Anyway, I was like, my God, the stuff that comes in my email box is just, it's nuts. But to think that people are not going to talk about it, I think is nuts too, right? It's a management position. Okay. Um, okay. I'd love to know how it goes. I would certainly make sure that you are kind of like dressed for an interview. Um, Even if you have on a blazer, I mean, why not? I'm sure your dress code will be fine. I wonder, have you managed people before? Is it a management, like a people leader position, like managing a team? Or is it like manager level individual contributor? Because I'm wondering, sometimes they're going to ask you questions about kind of management style. Like, are you more of a, are you going to be hands on? Are you more of like a delegator to your like supervisors and things like that? Do you delegate, or are you kind of like navigating around around your team? Like, are you a, coach by walking around type? People going from, okay, LaQuinta. A mess. Um, Let me know how it goes. Hopefully you will get invited back to the next round. If you want to have a conversation about it, I'd be happy to, confidentially. Or if you have any questions and you want to bring them back up again. I love talking interviews. And write down the questions that you were asked, because that would be interesting. And don't forget, even though it is a video interview, send your recruiter a thank you note. It doesn't have to be anything like flowery or anything like that, but or whoever you're working with. If it was the hiring manager you're working with, and they're just let them know, hey, I just want to let you know I completed the video interview. I appreciate the opportunity to um, further. I appreciate the opportunity to further discuss my experience and my qualifications, for the role. I hope to hear from you again, or don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need further explanation or further, um, any further information, or for me to expand on my answers, things like that. Just kind of just close it out. I completed it, and I feel like it went well. If you have any further questions, kind of that thing, not so much like closing it out, but just one of those kind of like, I completed it and thank you. And if you have any further questions regarding my answers, that kind of thing. Okay. Well, 20 is a good size. I mean, that's depending on what they're doing. I mean, that's 20 is a lot. It could definitely be many more, but 20 is a good number. Why can't I find this email? Is this it? No. Let me one more time, guys. I'm gonna just see. If not, we'll talk about it another day. Oh, here it is. So I'm not going to say any names. Really quick. Thank you for responding to my email. So I had an issue with my former employer, and at this point I have gotten a new job, so I don't know if I should leave it alone or move it forward. I resigned from my job September 25th, and on the 26th the recruiter I've been in contact with responded back, and sent me a bunch of text messages. So I'm not sure what was going on. I feel like this, and I could be wrong. So if you are listening, um, let me know if. So what I'm thinking had happened is this person could have been working with as a contractor, right? And working potentially a manual job, right? So they were working, I think, at Amazon. So I'll say that just because Amazon's huge and there's hundreds of thousands of people that work there. Um, So apparently there was an issue with a truck. So a truck was received and the pallet basically had fallen apart. So this person was like a warehouse operations. And I'm going to just show you this without divulging anyone's information. So do you guys see how this pallet looks? So this person basically said, I was hired to move pallets, not build pallets. And I was like, you know what? You have a point. Okay. Especially if your job is based on production. So if your job is to empty these trucks, so the trucks can either be filled and moved back out, or so that you can, whatever you have to do, this person now is having to build back up a pallet because the pallet was poorly packed, right? So apparently there was some conflict going on between. Yes, dear. Remember that girl on Netflix? On the video, like, doesn't she look like Madam CJ Walker? Oh, okay. I'd have to see her, babe. I have to. Oh, is that what you're watching right now? No, I just see the commercial. It might be the same actress. Isn't that cute? She said Madam CJ Walker. Okay. Anyway, so apparently this person tried many times to get in contact with the recruiter at the agency. I'm just going to say I worked agency for a long time. Agency people, they're not the best HR people. I'm just going to admit they're just not. Everybody doesn't always segue into traditional corporate HR from agency, and it's because the training there is terrible. So if you are someone who wants to gain some HR experience, I would say avoid agency at all costs. If you can segue and you've got the chops to get out, do it. It took me a minute to get out because agency reputation is so bad because of situations like this. But this person was having trouble on the job. They were reaching out to their recruiter at the agency. Apparently the conversations on site with the client, the business that this person was working for, it just wasn't going well. This guy reached out, or this person reached out many times to their agency. Looks like they were going back and forth with the person that they worked with. Then there was an issue basically about the time. And then they left. They were like, bump it. And the Anne had a doctor's note. Hold on. Oh, it's a lady, excuse me. Anne had a doctor's note. They were out of work for 2 days, went back in and lost their assignment, right? It was a mess. As she stated, she'd already gotten a position. You should have hours off duty to see. This was complicated because, again, sometimes there's an issue called co-employment where sometimes people are working on site at a warehouse or whatever company, and you start to kind of operate like you're an employee, right? So you've got managers on site coaching you, you've got people documenting your time, all of that stuff, but you're really not an employee of that company. You're an employee of the agency. So when it comes time to let the person go, when it comes time to, well, this one said this and this one said that, issues of co-employment come up, and it gets very, very sticky. And I think that this was a matter of, even towards the end, they're like, I reached out to so and so with no response. I mean, this person was trying really, really hard to get in contact with their agency contact, and nothing ever happened. This person ended up leaving and ended up getting a job like I think she said the 21st, or the 25th. It's like 15 days later. It's very difficult when you work with an agency staffing company as opposed to an actual company, because you just have to deal with so many people and you're not protected as an employee of the company. You are an employee of the agency, and the agency could have benefits, but sometimes, honestly, I'm going to say this: agency is only as good as the people who work in that office. I personally, I I prided myself on always doing the best for my employees. I was always on site. I always returned phone calls. I mean, again, sometimes you have to do over and above, especially insert, you got to do over and above, or else you're just not going to have your job. So I always made sure that I never had any problems with my businesses or my employees. You know what I mean? If there was an issue, we got it worked out. And if there was a problem, we worked it out. So, I don't know. It's a tough situation. I think the good thing is that you're out of there. I think you're not the only person I've heard of in an Amazon situation. Amazon is super busy. Amazon is ginormous. Amazon uses a lot of contract employment, um, even in their warehouses. Sometimes the warehouses the whole warehouse is almost under contract from a supply chain perspective. You may have a whole different supply chain provider that's in there that's managing the Amazon packages, and there's nobody. It's an Amazon warehouse, but there's nobody in there that's Amazon. Forget about contractors. They all work for this other company that comes in and just does supply chain takeovers. So it's like third party. It's crazy. It's just a good thing you're out. And honestly, in situations like that, and depending on the type of company that you're dealing with and the type of team that's on the spot managing potential problems, those jobs run their course. I would say at the in 6 months to a year at the most. But if you're having problems and you are someone that has to be managed, not because of your work, but just there's always something happening, eventually they're going to get tired of dealing with you, because they may have 200 other people that they have to deal with to make sure are there working their hours, getting stuff done. And if you've got the doctor's notes and the this and the that, and it's like they're having to manage you almost like as a true employee, they'd rather not. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to be honest. They'd rather not. Because oftentimes you have contractors because you don't want to have to deal with employees. It's just not an employee-centered environment. It's a production, let's get shit done environment. Not saying the contracts aren't great. Contracts are great. They do keep people employed. So rewind what I just said. If you are having to be managed, if your employment status requires a little extra, that is not the true nature of how contract employment tends to work at its best, because oftentimes it just needs to be as seamless as possible. And when you start having issues, and not saying that this person had an issue, there was an issue. Their recruiter never returned phone calls, or, they're texting back and forth. They're not getting real-time help with their issue. This person finally just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm out. They got frustrated and left. So, let's see. But yeah, if the person who sent me this would like to talk this out like a little further, just so we can really understand, because it's like some choppy text messages. But yeah, it was a lot. It seems like this person was doing a really hard job, and was kind of asked to also do some things that were not in the scope of their job, which is also another problem, and not what they were hired and what they're being paid to do. So it's not saying that they were not flexible, but sometimes you can ask people to flex this a little bit too much. You know what I mean? But guys, I'm going to go. We had some nice chat today about like HR stuff and employee relations and things that go wrong, and talking about goals and talking about manifesting and plans and stuff that I did not even intend to talk about today. But I'm so glad that we did, because it was really fun and I really enjoyed it. I felt like, gosh, this was pretty awesome. So thank you all for having this chat. This was really, really nice. If any of you guys have any questions about this chat, what we've been talking about today, have any questions, want to see more of this, let's do it anytime. Send me your questions to Love, Lies, and Lacefronts. You can send me your questions to Francoise Vlogs. Also, guys, I did put up a vlog today. If you have not had a chance to go see it on my vlog channel, it's linked up here, Francoise Vlogs. It'll be fun. If you're not subscribed to that channel, go check it out. That's my vlog channel. You can meet my husband and my daughter and kind of see what we're up to when I'm not doing this. Also, somebody asked me about these flowers. I talked about them earlier on in the live, but they are a combination of dried out roses and some silk roses that I purchased from Amazon, that if you look above in the banner, you can get to my Amazon storefront and you can find those there as well. Awesome. So is it Shy Girl K? One other thing too, guys, some of my stuff so it's going to be coming up soon and I'm going to have to give you guys details on it, but I am going to be going live on Amazon very soon. And when I say very soon, I'm going to say like in the next week. You guys know that I'm like a Amazon head. Gosh, guys, I'm sweating. The sun was like cooking me. And my storefront, I have a lot of stuff that I've purchased. I also do reviews and stuff on Amazon quite frequently. So I'm going to be going like HSN style live on Amazon. So if you guys want to have some fun and join me over there very soon, it kind of will be paired with my storefront. So that's just something that I'm working on. You guys are hearing this first. But things like this, or just even maybe some DIYs, like I showed you guys my mirror. Let me show you, which you're not going to be able to really see it right now, but let's, hold on. Gosh, my cables. Anyway, this mirror right here, I put a light all the way around it. And I kind of DIY'd it. It was kind of like a update or like a whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was a DIY to me. How I did that. So some like stuff like that I might share, or maybe I might even like in the future get creative and do a DIY. But a lot of it, obviously, Prime Day is coming up. Some stuff I know you guys ask me about on a regular basis. And I'll be happy to share those items with you, like this gold lamp right here. It's got USB ports in it. That's been sitting there for a long time. So none of this stuff I'm just getting because I'm selling on Amazon. And I'm not selling, but I'm showing my favorites on Amazon. That light I love, and we actually have them in silver next to our bed in my bedroom. But just stuff like that. So if you guys want to see like some of the stuff in my storefront actually come to life and how I use those things, or how I like those things, like this clothing rack, I put that together myself last week, and I love it because it takes the clothes off my door. And I'm actually going to probably just wheel that into my bedroom after I try on. Well, everything fits me. After I do like my try on kind of haul that I want to post on my other channel. So, because these are clothes that I'm kind of like my capsule collection of what I'm wearing this fall. So just some new stuff that I purchased that like I want to make sure I get through that whole entire rack. So guys, I'll be on here for another hour. And I better go because it's already 4:30 and it's time for me and Farrah to go run our little errand. She is now finished official with her homework, and it's time for me to say goodbye. I am going to probably post a video this evening. If not this evening on this channel, it'll be tomorrow morning. So just be on the lookout for that, guys. And if you're here and you're not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe. If you haven't liked this video yet, please go ahead, like the video. If there's some tea that you need for me to know, send it to me. Instagram, email. If you have an HR question, you have an employee relations question, if you have a relationship question, if you have a whatever, send it to me and we will talk about it. Okay. See you later. Bye, guys. I'm going to go. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.